Stadium here in Orchard Park. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
On 2nd and 9, Pickett. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From just shy of midfield, Pickett. Throw left side, got to be taken in by Harris. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, and they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Try him with Pickett here on 3rd down. Finding Harris on back-to-back plays. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. Tried the hard count, but to no avail.
Trying to do anything to get them to jump off sides and pick up a 1st down easily. Instead, it goes against them.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And now a fair catch called for, and he'll indeed take it at about the 6-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Singletary to get the drive started. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. Room here to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. The Bills at 3-1 here through their first 4 games, and they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Allen now on first down. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 47 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. Now Allen. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On second down, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Harris. Oh, good move. They'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They'll need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Steps away to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position. Charles looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Pickett, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Pickett sets up play action. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in there by Crowder. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. So the shotgun snap to Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. Nothing can stop him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's got the hook up with Diggs. Touchdown! Stephon Diggs. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the 27, Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Pickett. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Pickett to his tight end, Freiermuth, for the Steeler first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Looking to throw, Pickett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. And no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Off play action. Pickett. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Here's Presley Harvin now. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Airing one out for Crowder. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. Now Allen. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They'll find Gabriel Davis. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. And again, it's Allen. And it's caught. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and goal, Allen. And he's got his tight end Knox for goes touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Bills are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it is 28-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Pickett back to throw. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Pickett, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And he's gonna miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
On second down, here's a run with Moss. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shot the D and rip off a pretty big play.
I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Allen off the play fake. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. McKenzie now from his end zone. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go right back to Singletary. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Allen now looks to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A nice pickup of 17 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Going deep for Diggs. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he will have a Steelers first down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Open man completes it to Claypool. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line. To the air on first down with Pickett. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Harris running straight ahead. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Gregory Rousseau able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 14. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, You're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. The offense on third down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen sliding out of the pocket. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing. Look at lost it. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head. Yeah,
not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Right back to Singletary on second down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Allen hit. He lost the football. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trip. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not where they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's Pickett. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They run for it with Harris. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. A give up the middle to Singletary. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. The kick by Bass is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Pickett. And that one on the money to Claypool downfield. And he'll be brought down at the 27. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And now here's another interception. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And they'll indeed take a knee.